in every Tuesday morning at 10, starting soon.
This is Barbara Barrigan-Perea with Delta Flows, a radio show by the Voice of Stockton and Restore the Delta. This is the weekly radio show where we discuss everything Delta related: the environment, water management, water quality, farming, history and culture, public events, recreation, Delta food, and the arts. Tune in to Delta Flows on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at KXVS Radio.
KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, live. The Voice of Stockton at Stone Soup Studio. KXVS.org.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the Voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
Welcome to the Voice of Stockton, KXVS, the Vigil show. My guest is Stephen Bojorques. He will be talking about the winter powwow. So thanks for coming today on a Sunday. I know you had time on a Sunday to do a lot of things with your family, and I really honored you came. So tell me, what happened to the event from yesterday, winter powwow event?
Yesterday was wonderful, actually. It was a good turnout. A lot of people came out, a lot of Native Americans, non-Native Americans, and a lot of children. A lot of kids came out to support the cause. It's the winter powwow, or also known as the Valentine's Day powwow. But for most Native Americans, it's the winter powwow. So, again, it's all good for the kids, good for the family, and good for the community, good for education, which is why we have it at the University of Pacific. So it did start with the Stockton Unified School District, Edison High School, and then it just expanded and grew, and then the University of Pacific offered their resources to Title V-C, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization for the Native American Center here in Stockton, California. So we've been doing that for many years now, so many moons. But again, last night was wonderful, a huge success in my opinion. A few things could have been, improved, like the color guard. It would have been nice to have the color guard, but nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. Times are hard. The budget is hard. I understand. So, but as far as the people and the community, it came together very well. It worked out.
I heard that you have a lot of volunteers that showed up also.
Yes, that's what I mean by a lot of big turnout. A lot of volunteers came out to help out and help the cause. So we've never had a problem with that. There's always a large handful of volunteers to help the Native American community.
Oh, wonderful. So as far as that, so when people go, do they expect vendor? They have other organizations, resources that like information booths, something like that?
Yes, we have information booths are normally free at the Native American powwows. So usually the vendors that are being charged are usually vendors that are selling Native American jewelry, Native American regalia, Native American art, Native American foods. So basically, that's what's being sold.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So people who don't know about Indian food,
Right.
What kind of food do you mean by that?
Well, a good example would be Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, a good 80% of the food in Thanksgiving is Native American food. At a Native American powwow, we have what is called the Indian taco, which is basically a fried bread with baked beans, ground beef, shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes, maybe a little hot sauce, stick a fork in it, along with a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, and you're good to go. An Indian taco, it tastes delicious. Oh man,
Native Indian taco.
Yes, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's like a tostada, but it's thicker and it's softer, and it has toasted golden brown. Kids love it when you pour powdered sugar on it or honey. But traditionally speaking, for traditionals like myself, just a plain fried bread with a cup of coffee. and that's basically how we eat our fried bread.
Bread?
I've cut back on it myself. It's good for the if you want it for yourself or for the kids, that's fine. Or if you're
you put cinnamon sugar or you just put sugar itself or what?
Usually just sugar, powdered sugar. But that's for the kids or for the the adults for fun. Some people put whipped cream and strawberries on it. But the actual Indian taco is like baked beans and ground beef and.
So that's interesting. I hope there's some store or restaurant that sells that.
There is none. But that's what makes the powwow so unique and special for the Native American community and for the community as a whole. Is that there's one? If you want fried bread, or an Indian taco, go to a Native American powwow. That's the best way to support the community and actually get a taste of the Native American community. Yeah.
So how many tacos charge for like 3 or 4 or whatever? It's like $1 or $2, $3 or what?
Usually it's
really big or small. Or
back in my day, many moons ago, it was about $5. For $5, you get the taco. And it was big. It was huge. Plus a Coca-Cola with that, So for $5, but that was back in the day,
So not at $10.
You look at probably about 7.
7? Oh, that's awesome.
Like
that's still good.
Still good. It's not a bad deal,
All right. So tell me, what did you do when you were at the powwow and you say that was a very good good event?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
What I do for me, speaking for myself, is that I go to the Native powwow, and usually, again, I'm traditional, so I go by traditional time. Gore dancing is at 11. Grand entry is at 12 o'clock. Then you have intertribal, you have contests and more intertribal, and then about 5 p.m. you have the traditional meal. Basically, everyone goes out and eats. The powwow committee provides food for the elders and the women and children and the dancers and the singers. And then after that, and of course the color guard, they provide food for them as well. And then after that, the gore dancing at 6.
Okay, so the people that don't know what the gore dance means,
mm-hmm.
What did that come from, or what did that mean?
The gore dance is really not a part of the powwow. It's actually separate from that. It's actually a ceremony of a blessing of the grounds. Basically, we're blessing the ground, spiritually speaking, in blood, because the way I was raised is that in the beginning, all the gore dancers are veterans, people who fought and served this country to protect and defend our country. So we go out and we bless the ground, the powwow, basically, in this way with veterans. So the way it all started, you're going back, 14,000 years ago, but the actual ceremony didn't start until now 500 years ago. And the story goes that the ceremony actually started with the Kiowa tribe.
Okay,
Kiowa.
Okay.
Right, the Kiowa tribe. And basically that's where the story begins as far as the gore dancing. And the story goes, there was a warrior who fought with his tribe and against another tribe. And I think it was the Texans, I believe, or no, it was actually another tribe. I forget what it was, but it was another tribe back 500 years ago. So he got separated, is what happened. The warrior got separated from his unit, and as he lost his weapons, he lost his shield, and he was exhausted, and he was wounded. So there he was about to die until he heard this beautiful music. Beautiful, sweet music. And so out of sheer will, he crawled up this hill to see where this music is coming from. And down on the other side of the hill, he sees a wolf, a red wolf. And he's dancing and he's singing. He has an eagle feather in one hand, he has a gourd shaker in the other, and he has his red and blue shawl on his shoulders, and he's dancing and he's singing. And he notices the warrior watching him, and so he tells the warrior to come down and let me show you these ways, these warrior ways. So he does, and he teaches them how, about shaking the gourd dance and with the feathers, protecting with the feather, and then defending off the evil spirits with the gourd shaker. So
what is that thing that's pointing? You have the feather and you have that little.
It's
like a leather.
right.
Wax?
It's a gourd shaker.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
from the gourd plant.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there are seeds in the gourd shaker. So we're
Like a rattler.
like a rattler.
Okay,
Like
got
a
it.
rattler. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
So those teachings was taught to the Kiowa people. That story was taught to the Kiowa people. So after that was done, of course, all the elders and the medicine men and the shamans and of course the chiefs and the rest of the hunters and warriors came together and they learned this dance. And so it literally became the war dance. It was known as the war dance. Okay, so
how long did it take the gourd dance to proceed? Because I know when I was watching, it's a good.
It's an hour. It's an hour long dance,
An hour,
which
so-
explains why I was so exhausted at the end of the night.
Cardio. With the
Yeah,
heart.
keeps me in shape. So
Awesome.
awesome. But yeah, I take vitamins just to keep up with these guys. So anyway, the gourd dance was, believe it or not, was banned by the United States government when the white man first came and arrived, and the European invasion, I should say. It was banned. It was actually illegal.
Why is that?
Because you're uniting the Native Americans together as many tribes to fight for a great cause, which is our freedom.
So in other words, there were racists back then. So they were like, no Indians.
They were
I think I know there was a lot of 60 in the people.
there was a lot more racism back in the day. Not too much has changed, unfortunately. So with the Trump administration, but as far as back in the day, yes.
You know the sign for Trump?
What's the sign for Trump?
Trump is this way when he like that, like this way. Trump. Yeah, Trump. You know what? You know that the toupee down the bottom. Like he's wearing a toupee. Trump. That's the President Trump. USA. Yeah.
I'll be darned. Really?
Yeah, that's a sign for Trump.
I'll be darned. I always thought it was this, but you know.
When I have to censor it.
Now I understand. I stand corrected.
Got it.
Okay. So, but
anyway, so basically, the war dance and all the things have been banned. So how did you secretly have to go to a group, a small group?
yes, a lot of it was underground on the reservation. A lot of the ceremonies were done privately in the home. It wasn't until after, I believe, World War II. After World War II, things really changed for the Native Americans.
So you think President Kennedy did all the changes?
I think Kennedy is probably one of the greatest presidents we've ever had in this country, which explains why they killed him. But I think he helped the Native Americans tremendously.
Okay.
So
perfect.
Yeah.
So tell me about
Oh, by the way, I just want to mention after World War II, the Gore dancer came back. It came back and it grew into today, and now it's very public. Again, the veterans started to dance, and now today you've got warriors and medicine men that participate in the Gore dance along with the veterans.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That's something new in history.
Yeah.
For people that might not know what the powwow mean and
Right.
where the Gore dance come from.
Right.
So is there different set of dancing that throughout the day?
There's two for the Gore dancing. There's northern and there's southern type of dancing.
Of Indian Native?
Of Native American culture. There's the
American
northern style, southern style.
So what Native are you from?
Northern style.
The northern style.
Mm-hmm.
So are the northern style more active or slow than the style, or are there? I don't know.
They're equally active.
Okay,
equally
equally
active.
active, okay.
Yeah. Especially what happened in the Dakotas with the oil pipeline. We all came together as one to protect and defend the land.
That's within
Dakota?
Well, what state?
I think it's North Dakota and South Dakota.
Oh, North Dakota. I'm sorry. It's a state. North
Dakota and South Dakota.
So there's not like a city or anything that within the North Dakota state? Like a city?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the city.
That's what I was meant to think. But anyway,
it's been a while.
Some of you might not know about North Dakota tribe.
I'm thinking
They've been
Brisbane.
bitterly assaulted by the U.S. government.
Oh yes,
By the state trooper and got shot. Water hosed him. And
a 13-year-old girl was shot in the face with a rubber bullet on her own property, on her own reservation, by a police officer. Yeah, by a state.
But they would never report that on the news.
No, no, not too much. Unfortunately, when it comes to mainstream media, that was all left out. It wasn't until towards the end things started coming up into mainstream America, CNN. But
now Trump thinks CNN is the fake news.
Well, yeah, of course they're going to spin that. They're going to spin. The white man will always do that and spin it to yeah. So, okay. But as far as a victory for us because two things. One, we all came together. There was about over 200 nations that came together.
200 nations, right?
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
From north, south, east, and west, all four directions. And then you had the oil spill, which took place in I think North Dakota. And South Dakota. There was more than just one.
But there was like a borderline between those two states, right?
Most reservations are on the border. Oh. So yeah, okay. That's what I've noticed. But also when the oil broke and especially in
somebody did that on purpose.
Well, no. It was we were warning us. The natives were warning the white man. If you do this, you're going to have an oil break and it's going to contaminate the water, and then you're looking at 16 million people without water. So it's really bad for the environment. It's a violation of treaty with the tribes. They were actually putting an oil pipeline right through a Native American cemetery, which is, in my opinion, sacrilege. So, and absolutely wrong.
But the U.S. government never honored that treaty or not? Why did it not? Any organization enforce that?
Every treaty that was written by the U.S. government for the Native Americans was broken by the U.S. government.
So another been void,
broken and void. Another broken promise, lies. Trump lies.
That's true.
Yeah. So that when Brock.
But the thing, hold on. Before that, was that during the election time when Obama had that thing let go and they didn't want to stop that?
No.
At the ending time, I'm not talking at the period before Trump took over.
No, he had the engineers come out to do a land survey and investigate the oil pipeline, and he put, I believe, an injunction that would allow, I think, a 3-day period where they would do an investigation, find out, is this safe, is this kosher, is this okay, is this good medicine or not? Right. It was meaningless because, yes, he had the Corps of Engineers come out and do an investigation. Unfortunately, the election took place, and Trump won the election, and it was business as usual for the Republican Party, which is they just ignored whatever the Corps of Engineers said and just proceeded with just plowing right through tribal Native American territory.
So they did plow into it.
Sure, they did. They plowed in. They went right over it. Didn't stop it. That's where two things happened. The over 200 nations came together to protest and prevent this from happening. Also, thousands of veterans, American war veterans, came out to support the Native American community in this endeavor. So, and then it wasn't until the oil pipeline, one of them actually broke and spilled, then the Canadian government, which, by the way, that's where the oil was coming from.
Okay.
Yeah, the oil was coming from Canada. Okay. And from Alberta, I think. And then once that happened, the Canadian government says, nope, no more. That's it. We're stopping this. We're doing our own environment, because they're big environmentalists up there too.
Well, good. Okay.
So they said, we're going to stop this. And of course that just nipped the entire situation in the bud right then and there. So of course the corporations are trying to tap into that oil
from Canada.
From Canada,
so they're trying to bribe them.
Sure. The plan of attack, their agenda is because of the greenhouse effect and because of global warming, you now have less snow, okay, up in the north, and now they're exposing all these beaches from Canada, and in these beaches is oil.
Okay.
So they're taking the oil from these Canadian beaches, filter it through the pipeline through the United States to Texas. Okay,
Wow.
and then connect that pipe through the oil pipeline that goes through the Gulf of Mexico. Remember the oil spill in the Gulf of
Yeah,
they're all
have
connected. They're all connected, going all the way to Paraguay because they discovered oil in Paraguay. So they're trying to connect an oil pipeline.
Okay, what Paraguay at? Is that a
South America.
South America.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're.
Sorry, I don't know my geographic.
It's okay. It's okay. So that's the plan of attack, so they can be self-sufficient with their own oil. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's interesting.
Yeah.
What history of what's happening?
Yeah.
So the powwow and the war, the Guoro Dan it overcame the government to stop it, but it continued on the tradition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as why did this particular community chose Stockton? What started Stockton to become a powwow in this community?
Well,
did you start it? Who started it?
my father started it.
Okay,
my father started it. If you're gonna blame somebody, blame me.
No, I don't think I gotta blame.
No.
I think the Indian should be respected also because people are fighting over land. Fighting Mexico want to back their land, and the Indian want to fight their land. Their right. American and all that stuff.
For us,
get free land all the time.
Well, that's because they took it from us as far as giving away free land in Oklahoma. Although they nearly wiped us out. We started with 19 million Native Americans, and now today we're down to like 4 million. Right. So obviously the genocide took place here.
So what do you mean genocide? Is that in the United States?
In the United States.
So if we got genocide, most of the people, not just Native, but other people die also, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you got millions of people died.
Asian,
Mexicans who lost half of Mexico. The death toll of African Americans who died in slavery. The number of Native Americans on the Trail of Tears. Again. From 1492 to 1900.
Let's move back. Okay, we're going. So did they had the legal weapon back then from genocide from the 1650 and in the 30?
I don't understand what kind of weapon.
Like you said, the weapon genocide. Public genocide or what?
It was.
Normally you do it on a foreign country,
right?
But here, that's too close to our.
But it did happen here. It did happen. There was 2 weapons they used. The one was, of course, the revolver and the repeating rifle, and of course the sword.
Okay.
But then the most lethal one was the diseases.
And what is that? White man disease.
The white man's the common flu, polio, syphilis. Just a lot of the diseases that were remnants of the Dark Ages from the Black Plague. So, of course, the white man, when they came over here, their immune system was very strong. Whereas the Native American, my people, we didn't need a strong immune system because everything was clean. It was, believe it or not, the water was clean. Once upon a time. It's not
like the Delta.
You didn't need bottled water. Believe it, you can actually from a faucet. Once upon a time. But all that's gone.
I remember the old Western movement when the Indians go and drink water from the river.
Yeah.
And I believe that. And now you can't even drink water from the river.
No, you can't. Sorry.
You cannot drink
water.
Sorry.
There's places in the mountains where there's a sign that says warning, contaminated. That's sad. So again, back in the day, yes, the genocide took place, from Christopher Columbus all the way to today. And we still are witnessing the racism and discrimination
I heard that last
country.
week they protested about Christopher Columbus. He was a killer, right? And they changed Christopher Columbus to a Native American.
Yes, they changed it to the indigenous holiday.
What does that mean?
It's a recognition of the indigenous people here in this country.
So that's the name of the tribe that's called recognition?
We're called indigenous, or we call ourselves Native Americans.
Okay.
Of course, the white man, thanks to Christopher Columbus, called us Indians. We're not from India. Okay. The scientists and anthropologists, they call the indigenous people, the locals, the natives of this people. So they use that linguistic terminology. the indigenous people. If you want to be scientific about it, but
yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know why the name came to. So this coming year, when not Columbus Day, but
Indigenous Day,
it's going to be focused on American Indian.
Right. Just
the national holiday.
It's just recognizing the indigenous people of this country.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I think that's down south, San Diego's, L.A. They did that.
So who was the author? Who came up that idea? That was it was a good idea.
The idea, I think, it started with the Green Party, back in the 1987, 88. The idea came from that particular part of the Green Party, which is a huge environmental organization, which ironically started in Germany, but that's basically how the idea. But of course, like everything else, the wheels turn very slow in government. So it took many moons just to get to this point. So
there's a lot of red tape, a
lot of red tape. But when I noticed that people get motivated when the gun's pointed at their head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I noticed. Ever since Donald Trump got into office, a lot of people being fired. A lot of horrible, sexual scandal. I'll say it. A lot of racism. Right. A lot of racism. So, and that just got a lot of political activists back on their feet and said, "Oh, wait, hold on, hell to the no." So we got motivated and things started rolling after that. So
okay, well that's good. That's a good thing. And you had to go through a lot of barrier that I had to go through and be recognized. But this particular powwow, I think, like you said, it was been a successful event, and people already recognize it. Are you going to have a lot more education for our youth? Because I remember when Connie was here, we had a teacher that wanted you to go to their classes,
right,
to do the shoulder feather, shoulder tail.
Right.
I'm like, wow, we made an impact. I'm like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was really...
People are watching and listening.
Yeah, and really, I was like, man, Steven, man, I was really proud of you. I'm like, man, this guy getting respect and a teacher acknowledging it, that we were showing the shell, the feather, and the loose thing. Yeah. That is something that be educated. D and tell are more common in elementary school. And I was like, wow, that is awesome.
Yeah. I reached out to Tammy, and she reached out to me. We're texting each other. And then we called each other, trying to find a perfect day for, because I'm working, she's working. She has her fourth grade class, and she's trying to get this information to the kids. Again, like you said, show and tell. Kids respond to physically.
I think that was amazing. So I think it make a youth impact for our new kids.
Well, I invited them. I invited them to the powwow to come and take a look at it. So because kids love that. Yeah. Kids love come to a powwow if it's free. The parking's free. There's no entrance fee. There's no admission fee. I mean, it's just you just bring your own lawn chair, get yourself some fried bread or Indian taco. Right. Find yourself a seat and enjoy the music and the dancers and all in the grand entry. It's really cool to see and to hear the first music and the first dancers here in this country. Awesome. That's something. So,
it is something, and there's more. I bet they should have a Native American center where they have picture some kind of history about it, like a museum.
They do.
They do.
They do. And the Hagen Museum here in Stockton.
No way.
Yes.
They never announced. I never know. See that? I didn't even know that. Look at Steve.
That's why I'm here. Yeah. So they have the Hagen Museum in Victory Park, where the totem pole used to stand, and I'm working on that issue as well. But downstairs in the basement.
Why in the basement?
Yes, I've been in the basement.
Oh my God!
My people have been in the basement, so
like rust.
Back of the bus. Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, no, we're used to it. So anyway, but it's downstairs in the basement. If you ever get a chance, take your kids out. I think it's $5 to get in.
Well, dude,
and it's great.
Last weekend was free. So
there it is. It's free. You go downstairs. It has a whole history of the Yokut people right here in Stockton. From Stockton all the way to Hanford is the Yokut people. So
Hanford is another tribe, right?
No, Hanford's the name of the city.
City.
It's by Fresno. So yeah. Something.
So that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, now I
Yes,
didn't
yeah.
even know there was a history about Indian down stuff.
Exactly.
Is it was electronic or was it just like
No,
what
it's
is it?
it's
Is it like
physical.
a statue or what?
It's physical. They're actual grinding rocks, actual hand woven baskets of the Yokut people in Stockton, California.
Well, I think
So,
we need to
yeah.
raise it up to another level because this is, to me, because I think
Yeah.
Western on the top. I think Western in how the city of Stockton area, but definitely Stockton was the first Native American here in Stockton, or was it they were here, or like were they here in Stockton?
Right, there was the Yokut people.
Yokut.
The Yokut.
Okay.
Right, the Yokut.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so tell me what else you want to talk about regarding the veteran and medicine man. Is there a difference between the ceremonial for a whole hour? Because I know that when they bang the drum, do they still bang the drum on the beat of the drum, or they're saying prayer song? Are they singing a love tune? What are the prayers?
The prayer. There are prayers for one. They're all prayers. Each footstep.
What's okay?
Each footstep is a prayer.
It's a prayer.
It's a prayer.
That's interesting. I never noticed a prayer.
Yeah,
Okay.
each footstep
Okay.
is a prayer.
What is, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Common lots of
it's okay.
It's hard to concept a foot prayer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a red man's concept, but yeah.
Okay.
the prayer, each footstep is a prayer. So that's why when dancers go out and they're dancing, they're actually, each footstep represents a prayer.
Okay.
To our ancestors.
So so when they're pounding on the ground with the beat of the music, are they synchronizing the song?
Yes, because it goes with the heartbeat.
The heartbeat. Okay.
It's all about the heart. Just like when Jesus points at his heart and he's pointing to heaven, it's the same concept.
Oh.
The drum is to the beat of the heart, and of course the music goes straight into the sky. And that's where God is.
Got it.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's something new I'm learning from you. That's awesome. And so, don't they have books about Native American Indian regarding that?
They have some books, but not a lot of what I just told you is just passed on from generation to generation. That's why our elders are held in high esteem because that's basically where our identity comes from. Our stories come from our elders.
Okay.
So when we hear about Thunder Boy, which is 1,000-year-old tale, that comes from the elders.
So do you have like a scroll that they use to write down to keep
the only tribe really that did that was the Cherokee. They had their alphabet. Was the Cherokee Nation. But all the other tribes was basically passed on.
But word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Word of mouth. If grandma and grandpa said it, well, then mom and dad did it, and guess what? You and Junior are doing it too, and then you're going to pass that on to your children and your grandchildren. So.
Oh, awesome!
That's why all the regalia you see, all the dancers out there.
The yellow one.
All of them, they're handmade. They're all handmade. You're not going to find this at Walmart. Okay, these are handmade Native American regalia.
Ooh.
So the feathers
so
are
it
real.
represents something when you have that different, more feather or
Well,
not.
yeah. If you have like a bustle of feathers in every direction, and they're all the same type of feather, like hawk feathers.
Right.
Well, that's a dog soldier. Like a special, like a special forces warrior. So they're warriors, hunters and warriors. That's how I got started.
So there's always gonna be a hunter and warrior.
Warriors. Right.
The hunter go for food, or warrior fight for your country or whatever for your tribe.
And they're usually both one and the same.
One. Yeah. What about the women? Well, they have one cooking.
Yes.
And what is it?
For most of the women, and of course, they're the most important person there because they bring life into the world. The children. Okay. And they're raising the children. Okay. So, chopping wood, making the fire, cooking the food, skinning the animals for the food. What else? The clothes, the moccasins.
What's the moccasin?
A shoe.
Oh, a shoe.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
a shoe.
They call them moccasins.
Moccasins. Yeah.
Did they sell that at Walmart?
I
know. I've seen them.
Some of them are. Some of them are. But most kids wear tennis shoes. But if you want something that's relaxing and comfortable, get yourself a good pair of moccasins. So.
Okay. So since we're gonna be going close to our end of our time, what you want to talk about Europe? So what's your opinion about American Indian?
American Indian, as far as in regards to Trump or to the local city here, or
I think
Stockton,
how do you feel? What do you feel nowadays that how you feel like things are it's been changed? You feel now you're not being identified, you're not being recognized by the government. What do you think? Like you want to know what's your take on what's your opinion about American Indian? I don't know.
I think those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, and I see that happening now. I see when I see what happened in the North and South Dakota with the oil pipeline, it reminds me of what happened in that same location, the Dakotas, with the American Indian movement back in 1973. So I see this repeating. When I see Donald Trump, I see Richard Nixon. I see another corrupt businessman who's really ruining this country. In my humble opinion, he's not fit to be president. Much like our current mayor here in Stockton, I don't think he's fit to be the mayor of Stockton. I think we need a recall here in Stockton to recall the mayor. And I think the people of Stockton deserve a better mayor, a better person to be mayor. I think we need to save Swanson Park. I think that's important, as well as Van Brusker. This idea of giving money to criminals and then sending them off to Disneyland is ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that he's giving away free money. One for Justice for Peace. Mm-hmm. One is for the homeless for free without questioning. Yeah. And there's a third one. I don't remember. There was a third one that he was giving out free money also. There was another one. But it's still, how did the money? When you talk about budget in the city of Stockton, it's really all that money should go to pay out bills and expenses.
Yeah, that money could go to laptops for kids. You can hire more police officers. There's a brave new idea. How about hiring more instead of giving money to criminals so they won't commit a crime and sending them to Disneyland to reward them? How about hiring more police officers and give them a raise, and have them enforce, the laws that are out here already. We just need more police officers, and instead of giving money to criminals, they should give it to the police department or even the fire department, because we need more public services here.
But the thing is that people that read about, I personally feel safe already. We got police officer, city police officer. We got a county police. We got a county sheriff that do their job, but
I think he needs to be replaced too. I do. I think Steve Moore.
Hold on. Let me finish why I say that. I feel.
Here it comes.
Okay. Well, let's go there before we go.
Okay.
The reason why I feel like we already have enough police officers out in the force, because we have a city, we have the county, we got the state, we have the federal, and blah blah blah, and they're all sticking with border, like they're sticking jurisdiction. But in Stockton, we all have a bunch of pockets. We have one in the county. If you go to the next one, the city. If you go to the next neighborhood block, it'd be the county level. So, and it depends on jurisdiction, but the service to me is lousy. I know if you see somebody and you're gonna report a crime, they don't come. Not even there's a no-show, or they'll be like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or even an hour, and they're gone. To me, that's not. Urgency is not there, especially when it comes to your life. You're seeing your witness, and your life is in danger too, because you're seeing they're there, and yet you're calling your reporting. Did they have gun? However, I'm thinking so many things happening at one time. Yeah. You expect me to remember gun or knife or?
The civilian's not trained in that.
Yeah, I'm not trained to tell all the detail what it had. Was it black, or was it Asian, was it Latino, or what? They all look the same. We're all in the melting pot together. We're all mixed, and we can't even recognize our own color no more. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know I can't see that far. And I thought, well, if it's not have no gun and no knife, then it's not no urgency. Just we'll check it out. To me, that's not. To me, it's not excusable. It should be whether they have done or not. They should. It's a violent situation.
Yeah.
It could be avoided. You know,
Right.
so they should be filling out report. Okay, this happened. This incident already happened. You need to take report. You cannot wait until it happened and then you die and wait till it happened. Now the government, remember the 901? They were warned that there will be an airplane going to that building, but they wait. They wait until that thing really happened. Boom, it happened. Then they got on top of it. Went to war. Anything like that. So you have to wait until a thing happened before you make a, you know, press charges. You know what I mean? You know that somebody get killed or somebody get injured. That's the worst type of waiting.
Yeah. No, I've noticed that with traffic. I've noticed that when if there's a street corner that has a blind side to it, or there's certain bushes that interfere with a driver that can't see around the incoming car, a lot of people, they don't do anything until someone gets killed.
Right.
And then they cut the bushes down. Then they put up a stop sign. Then they put speed bumps. Well, it's too late now.
Right.
A person lost his life.
And everything should be prevented. Because what we talk about, the thing is that every politician, they lie. Oh, it's politics. But if we lie to the government, it's perjury. See, we go to jail. So
it reminds me of the congressional bailout for the rich people. When rich people want money, it's a bailout. But when poor people want money, it's socialism.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. That's a good one. But
now, also, what do you think about Pat Willow? I know that Pat Moore have been under the radar for a lot of conspiracy already.
Steve Moore.
Steve Moore. I was trying to get him into the show.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to I called their sheriff thing, and they never followed through it. I don't know. But what do you think about Pat Willow and Steve Moore about that?
I think it's time for a change. It does. Okay. I've noticed there's no term limits in the sheriff's department.
Oh, they're not.
There's there's not.
So why are we okay? So there's no term. So he could up to 5 term or 10 term, right?
As long as he wants.
No.
To me, Pat Withrow is the best qualified person for the job as far as sheriff is concerned.
Would he sheriff himself?
He was, I think, a deputy for 26 years.
A deputy?
Yeah, a deputy.
Okay.
He worked in law enforcement for 26 years, and he's definitely a police officer, a cop, a sheriff, he's definitely qualified to be sheriff, in my opinion.
I think Pat Will. I met him. I had him in my show a couple of last time, and he was an amazing person. I couldn't believe. He's very approachable. He can understand what's going on.
Yes.
He has seen the need. What. You know, now, I mean, what's going on with this scandal about the penis? It looked like now they're talking about there's like a hot dog.
He said it.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So why is it an evidence hampered by so much food, particle, or whatever? It doesn't make no sense to me nowadays.
Yeah, well, it's Cornergate. Then you got Gungate and the two Stockton Gate. But
I know. I think about
San Joaquin Gate. Okay, San Joaquin Gate. But it's all a gate, and I've noticed that it's just time for a change. If you want these problems to be addressed, like the sheriff's department, it's time to. It's just like a football team. You want to get to the NFL, right? But if for some reason for 4 or 5 years you haven't made it even close to the Super Bowl, what do? Well, you change the coach, right? You change the head coach. You change the manager, and some team members, right? Brand new quarterback, brand new linebacker, brand new wide receiver, right? And a defensive line, brand new. Right. You get rid of the old, you bring in the new. You fire the old coach, you bring in a new coach. That's how you make improvements on your team. Same thing with anything else, especially with the sheriff's department. It's time for a change. Steve Moore needs to step down and Pat Withrow needs to step into the sheriff's position.
So now, let me ask you this way. Now we're getting off the subject about the powwow.
Okay.
Now you're talking about the 2018 election.
Mm.
What do you think about a candidate that undefeated, that nobody's not running against it, like Kathy Miller?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kathy Miller have not done anything but hide behind the legal team, and yet there's nobody running against her. Or it could be in their two other supervisor. There's another supervisor that's unopposed also. They're both unopposed. You know what I mean? But yet they still have that power of making a no with the Swinston part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially the environmentalists. You know, they have Stockton, they have Fit. Even when Alex Ryder came upon me and said, "Look, we're getting a lot of rare species going to the Swinston Park."
Right.
And in order to see that, to try to bribe and kind of entertain information, they already said to me they just entertain it because they have already set selling that property to improve it. What do you need to improve? Why you need to improve the park?
Their wallet.
That's what I mean.
Their money.
But all the money they're giving to free people in the community, they're like, but to me, they're buying votes. That's what my opinion. They're buying votes for the poor. Hopefully that whatever he get out of it, it's kind of, I mean, that's what my opinion. I see that, I'm like, and I don't have to be stupid to understand what's going on and everything else going on. So what do you think about that? What I haven't seen, or maybe I may be wrong.
No, you're very close. Again, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. It does appear to be that he's buying votes, but for a long time, it's been what we call the machine, almost like the Star Chamber. Who's in? Who's out? Who stays? Who goes? If we make this guy look really bad, and the voters will vote for this guy, and we're going to have a lot of control with this bachelor number 2, okay, Tubbs. And because we can control him, we can't control Anthony. He's an independent. You know, he thinks for himself. He's for the people.
But the thing is,
where Tubbs, we can control him. So we're going to make Silva look bad to deceive the American people, to deceive the voters into voting for Tubbs. And that's exactly what happened. Do
you think there's a voter fraud in our county? Do you think there are credible people that are working in our government are being compromised, like Stephen Galloway? You don't need to know what's been compromised by the DA, compromised by staff, things like that. So that kind of conspiracy could relate to that also.
You don't need to wear a tin hat to I mean, it's coming to the point now where it's unequivocally clear. It's unequivocally clear. There is so much corruption in the city of Stockton, right? People are being bought off under the table, of course. The people of the city council and the mayor, they don't make a lot of money doing what they're doing in City Hall. Right. They don't make a whole lot of money, but they're the people, developers, are basically putting suitcases of money into their coffers under the table, of course, to say, hey, you do this for me, you help me with this Swanson Park thing, you know, and I'll take care of you, you know. I'll pour more money into your re-election. I'll give you a suitcase full of money. You can go to Colombia or Paris, France, or Hawaii, whenever, you know, and have the money to do that. Yeah. So people are looking at this. They see this. They know it's happening. And they're upset because they see their park, their Swenson Park, disappearing. You know, and to me, that here's a solution. Here's a brave new idea. If they put a bar, or even a club, a bar, a dance club,
that's still an improvement.
Yeah, well, it's still an improvement. But if you put that in Swenson Park,
right,
your financial problems would go away because
that's part of the city.
That's part of what I'm saying. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if you put some kind of entertainment device there, more money would come into Swenson Park, and it wouldn't be a problem anymore. it wouldn't be an issue.
I think probably if we could put that in the voting, and let the elector vote for it, and if they want to sell it to a private owner, and with a condition, with a condition, covenant, and restriction
clause
on the deed that this is only used for golf, and nothing will change. So that could be a catch. That way you get off the back of the city. Kind of tell to the developer, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. That could work as well. There are many other sanctions that can be addressed to fix this problem.
Right.
But for right now, a lot of people said it themselves. They just don't trust him. And that was on national television. They don't trust Tubbs. And
well, he's getting a lot
so.
of recognition from. He's getting a lot of press release. Getting a lot of press by good positive view by other people. But yeah, it's been negative in the press. Like there's a $20 million scholarship fund. Where's that? They only receive $4 million, but where's the other $16 million?
Right.
They have it in their pocket, but where's the fund to?
Where's it going?
So anyway, we could talk more.
Sure.
Steven.
No problem. Thanks,
Steven, for coming to Stockton today
No problem.
and talking about the powwow and other related subject. Thank you so much for everything you had. Open our eye about history, about the Indian Native culture, and when did the next one come?
Labor Day weekend here in Stockton.
Labor Day weekend, and it'll be outdoor now this time.
Yeah, it'll be outdoor. It's usually outdoor.
Okay, great. So thanks for coming.
No
problem. I hope you come back again. Thank you for watching the Voice of Stockton, KXVS, the Vigil show. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Peace.
Have a happy Sunday.